Last 3 bins were all started on the same day. There's not a whole lot of castings here. It means that there's probably compost roll right here. Yep. And they're probably still in it. So there's, I know there's more than one here. Look at how well, whoa. Yeah, there's one there. Let's take a look at the packages. This one's a little bit drier than the one before it, so it's even less processed. So a little bit more moist helps it process faster. Let's see what we have here in this package. The end of this video is where we will talk about making hot compost rolls, so don't miss it. Oh, this is the one with the paper towels. So the paper towels are food they really like. Banana peel. So this was this is when it was the dregs. It's like falling apart. Seems I'm switching back and forth between the dork voice and the Mrs. Rogers voice. This section would have been a good Halloween little piece to add to our Halloween movie. Maybe next year. Pretty funny. Ooh. So if you want to get a whole handful of worms at once, go ahead and make a compost roll. Then you get them all in one place. It's great for if you want to start a new bin. Okay, so there's one compost roll. There's a little one. It's fun opening up packages. A holiday gift. Packages full of wormies. See if there's any more. Ooh. Yeah. There are a lot more. Gratuitous worm fun. I'm going to take every opportunity to play with these while I have them out. Playing with my worms is just too much fun, and it's so much fun to share. Collecting them up again for a nice handful of wormies, or should I say another handful of wormies. They're just too much fun to play with. You've got to try it. Notice how dry the material looks. It's not ideal for the farm, so we're going to add lots of water to make sure it's moist and healthy. This material is way more dry than I'd like it to be. And so again, we spray it all down. Remember, carbon is food too, so all of this bedding is food for them. So no, they're not going to starve to death. It's easy to overfeed, thinking that they're going to starve, because you might think that they need to eat like you need to eat. Keeping the bedding nice and damp is good for all the microbes. It makes a healthy farm. That way, the carbon material can keep breaking down, and the worms can get at it so much easier. So if you want to have castings, keep it nice and moist. The recipe begins at 9 minutes. Squeegee these sides down so nobody wants to crawl. So they're going to want to be where the moisture is. And if the moisture is on the walls, they'll be on the walls. You don't want the worms to be following the condensation. You want them to stay in the bin. So that's what this is really good for. This moisture barrier helps keep the moisture located right in the middle. So this is where they will want to be. One more down. So we see lots of castings and sort of a dip right here. So most likely they've eaten what was in the compost roll and they're hungry, so they're starting to eat their material. So let's take a look. Looks like where it was, yeah. So you can see really nicely worked castings material right above where that compost roll is. So let's see here. I think this is going to be a good one. Let's say this material feels really good. Let's see if there's anybody still home. The outside material and the inside. So it'll get worked. Let's see here. What do we have? We have a lot of nice castings. Wow, nicely worked. With the worm sharing, remember, there's going to be a lot of cocoons that will be hatching nice, hungry babies in the original material. This will be turning to cast really quick. It's already soft. That's where moisture comes in. If it's moist enough, then they can get at it. And more dousing. We almost had a whoops moment. We need that to really have the T-zone experience. Check for babies. There's one. Moisture barrier. And their lid. Squeegee off the sides. So here's my full lid with lots of aeration. Okay, and another. Yep, it's right here. So again, this doesn't look, oh, there's two, it looks like. So the material, oh, see all the, whoa, okay. There's a lot of wormies right there. We'll check on them. In the meantime, we'll make a nice landing place for them. There's definitely one here. So let's just take a look. It's just such an exciting moment. A moment of opening up the compost rolls. We didn't find a whole cache of worms. They must be in that other compost roll. They have to be, because there's really not a lot of worms in here. Avocado pit, me being a co-composter. Okay, let's see. Thanks for hanging out with me. I know it's been a long few videos. I had to break it up. Anyway, I'm so glad you've been here. And here we have some wormies. In the colder months, think about making some toasty compost rolls. Roll up the food scraps with some carbon shreds and some duff or castings to let the microbes start the feast. As the material begins to compost, a biological transformation sets the temperature to high-medium. This combo feeds the thermophilic and mesophilic bacteria, while the paper wrapper keeps this process local. The worms will move in as it cools, and then you can use the leftover paper as the inoculated carbon for making more hot rolls. If you have a spare larger bin, you can try layering some rolls in between some carbon shreds. Here's the contents. They must have just fallen out. I grabbed that roll. Bubble gum. Keeping a nice damp farm helps keep the microbes and the worms happy, healthy, and hungry. Our moisture barrier on. And the lid. And another one's done. Thanks, Squiggler Mates, for hanging out with me during this really long and really fun video.